Hi all, welcome to my channel. This is AC here at Smells Good. I do really appreciate you clicking the link. And as you all know, Mother's Day. So I thought, what if I did a few reviews for the ladies' fragrances, So a little bit of thought first about Mother's Day. We all, as boys, are very close to our moms, right? And I was thinking to myself, what's the most important character trait that a boy inherits from his mom? There are many. One of the things that I have inherited from my mother is stoicity. Just taking the highs and the lows without leaning too much towards those emotions, just being on an even keel. I'm sure you can think of many such qualities you would have inherited from your mother. So yeah, today being Mother's Day, I thought I'll review a few good women's fragrances. So what I'm going to do is I've taken three very nice women's fragrances. One of them is unisex, but it's more leaning towards a feminine scent. And what I've done is I've divided them into three types of scent. One could be a chic, everyday kind of a scent. The other one I've taken is for special occasions, formal occasions. And the third one I've taken is for, let's say, women in positions of authority, So let's get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to review them through samples. And the first one I'm going to do, I think, is getting me very excited. It's a sample, so I'll write down the name at the bottom of the video. It's from a company called 4160 Tuesdays. It's a Northwest London based company. This is a handmade scent, and why it's getting me excited is these guys are doing some exceptional work. This thing is called Centerpiece. They're doing some exceptional work, and these fragrances are handmade fragrances, and I think that you can have it for about £40. I can't quite remember the exact size of the bottle, but if I happen to get a full bottle, I'll update you. This is a sample. You can get about 7 samples for £25. I received 7 of them. I reviewed, I smelled all of them. And I picked this one up because this is the closest I could think of for a scent for a lady for special occasions, So I've got it dry down, and this scent has reminded me straight away of a few fragrances. The dry down is basically very similar to a very expensive fragrance known as Masque Ravageur, Frederic Malle. I think it runs upwards of £300 for a bottle. The dry down is quite towards that direction. It also reminded me of a fragrance which is very, very popular with women. It's called Angel by Thierry Mugler. Now, Angel is a very bombastic, very loud scent, So if you don't like the brash loudness of Angel, this is for you. So Centerpiece, Centerpiece has a lot of similarities to two very, very famous fragrances. If that interests you, absolutely go for it. So if you want me to explain how the fragrance starts, so let's start with the primary notes. So the primary notes here are honey, green tea. The top, middle has frangipani, the most amazingly beautiful smell of a flower, very, very popular. And woods, most probably cedar wood. The base has musk and vanilla, beautiful musk, and it's blended so well that it is difficult for you to pick up those notes. But when you spray, you get straight away, you get a very beautiful, what you would call a sort of a honey mixed with a flowery note, which is basically undoubtedly frangipani. I don't get too much of green tea till later on. So it starts with beautiful honey, frangipani, and then after about half an hour it goes slightly woody and then musky. Yeah, transitions beautifully, absolutely well done fragrance, no doubt about it. Very smart, and it's ideal for special occasions. You can wear this during the day, during the night, during evening, and probably every weather you can imagine. This will never get cloyingly sweet. It's a highly versatile, very stylish scent, and it'll definitely get you noticed, and it'll be appreciated by your other half. No problems about that. I think it's a marvelous piece of work, and at the price point, you can't really complain. These are not very expensive, and as I said, they smell like extremely expensive Frederic Malle's Masque Ravageur. Angel as well. So moving on, performance. I think the performance is about 6 to 8 hours. In terms of sillage, it's a high sillage fragrance. You will get the scent bubble for a long time. And in terms of projection, I think it will project quite a bit for about half an hour, then comes closer. But I think an arm's length for about 2 hours is the projection. So all in all, terrific, very high value scent, unisex. Will I personally buy this? I'm on the fence on this one because of the frangipani, and it reminds me of Angel, which is quintessentially a lady's fragrance. So I might not buy this, although this is classified as unisex. But for a lady, fantastic scent, absolutely, very modern, very contemporary. There's no doubt about that. So let's move on. The next fragrance I have is by Paco Rabanne, and Paco Rabanne's Olympia. Here is a sample, and I do not know whether you'll be able to pick it up. Paco Rabanne Olympia. This was released in 2015. By the way, Centerpiece was released last year. It's very contemporary, very modern. So let's have a look at Olympia. Paco Rabanne. Yeah, they create some really fantastic mainstream designer fragrances. I have picked this up because I thought this would be a very good wear for day to day. It's a very chic, very modern scent. So the moment you spray this, the top note I think is that has been listed has got very slight hint of aquatics. The first thing you will notice, this sort of is an uplifting scent. Yeah, it's got very nice florals, but the aquatic notes that are mentioned, I don't get the aquatics. All I get is a salty sort of. I'm not a massive fan of the opening, but the scent becomes amazing in about 15-20 minutes. So it's got sort of a citrus or orangey kind of a vibe to it, and ginger with some salt. That's your opening. I do not get any aquatic, but very soon it's overtaken. I just got a very big, a whiff of some kind of a floral, and I can't pick up what it is. Most probably jasmine. I'm not very sure. But within about 20 minutes of time, you will get down to the base, to the middle and through to the base. The base is more woody. Yeah, it has got sort of a deepness to it. It's more sandalwood, more sweet, but it's not extremely sweet. That's why I like this fragrance, because you can actually wear this fragrance anytime, day, evening, nighttime, or any seasons. Very stylish. It leaves a fantastic trail. There was a lady who's working with us, and I once caught her scent trail, and she's a graduate, means she must be about a fresh graduate, so it must be about 22, 23. And I asked her what she was wearing, and I was intrigued because this is a kind of a scent which basically leaves a nice scent trail, and the trail is really nice. So they have combined the flowery chords with the aquatics in such a way which makes it a sort of a smart, confident, and yet chic. And this has got an appeal to itself, right? It will make you feel uplifted and confident. I would highly recommend this to any lady who's just starting off, so 20 to whatever age group. But yeah, this is a fantastic choice. Latest release 2015, so can't go wrong. Uh, Performs really well. I think these are the kind of scents which go beyond 10 hours. In terms of sillage, as I said, I actually first got introduced to this fragrance through somebody's scent trail. So it leaves a very good bubble. I would say about, I would imagine it to be 4 to 6 hours. And I would say that this fragrance also has a sort of a projection, because I can smell it from here. So I'd say good projection. So all in all, a very, very good fragrance. Absolutely, value for money is tremendous. Highly recommended for ladies for any occasions, any weather, all year round scent. So coming to the third one, the third one I've picked is for women who probably are in positions of authority, women who are sort of have a stronger personality. So a flowery scent may or may not appeal to them. It may appeal to them, but I have picked something for those ladies which I think is a timeless classic. And that one is, I will put down the name later on, but this is by Estee Lauder, and it's called No. Feminine fragrance, which I wouldn't hesitate putting on myself, and I'll explain to you why. I've got a dry down, and when I sprayed this, I thought to myself, I've smelt it somewhere, and I couldn't quite remember. And after a lot of thinking, I realized that the opening is very similar to Hugo Boss No. 1, which is an absolute out-and-out masculine scent. So I was quite surprised, and so I was. When I first smelt it, I was stunned that it's actually very similar to the opening of a very masculine scent, Hugo Boss No. 1. So I sort of liked it instantly, because Hugo Boss No. 1 is one of my favorites. And then I, let it sit down, and this scent went into a different direction. And that's what I like about fragrances. Fragrances that evolve, that change, that tell you a story which is more complex than just a linear scent that remains on your skin for 6 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours. This is the beauty. That's why I've saved the best till the last. This thing was launched, so Knowing by Estee Lauder was launched in 1988, and it's got a cult following. Not very popular with mainstream fragrance lovers, but this fragrance has a cult following, and a lot of men love to wear this fragrance. In fact, I'm thinking of getting myself a bottle, because I've been testing this for about 2 days now, and all I do is get a 1 ml sample from Notina, and I test them to my heart's content, and if I like it, I buy a bottle. Now this one, how does this start? As I said, very strong animalic, yes, animalic and aldehydic opening. Straight away Hugo Boss No. 1, and I was thinking to myself, wow, the only difference between this and Hugo Boss is the honey. But I like such scents. Later on, in about half an hour's time, you will see it taking a different direction, and that is where it's kind of it comprises of fruits, yeah, and flowers. So what is the flower here? It's some kind of a white floral, either gardenia or tuberose, but it's been done with subtleness, not to make it overly girly. This is not a girly scent. This is a power scent for women, undoubtedly, and for men as well. I mean, this has got so much appeal. I will definitely get a bottle of this, because I'm tremendously impressed by the scent. So, and it'll make you, it'll immerse you in its charm. It's a mysterious, charming, uber chic, a very sexy and extremely appealing. I mean, I can imagine a woman, a very beautiful woman, dressed very, very elegantly. If she puts this on, she will be really turning heads. People will be intrigued. If a man puts this on, I can see people getting really interested in understanding what they're wearing because it's got so much personality. It's a complex scent, and it's a beautifully done complex scent. So oak moss, aldehydes, yeah, opening. Then middle goes into a sort of fruity, flowery, but not over the top. So the flowery I can think of is most probably tuberose, and sweetness, slight subtle sweetness, and then patchouli comes into play. And the dry down is completely different to what it started off as. So in overall impression, I mean, this will keep you interested all day. You will be, I'm impressed and interested in this one. I think this will be a long-lasting scent. In my view, 10 plus hours. I can see that this is a long-lasting scent. In terms of sillage, amazing sillage. I think I have not tested it outside, but I can, you know, if I'm moving my hand, I can smell it. And the difficulty I was having was it is actually overshadowing centerpiece. I've got centerpiece on top of my wrist, and on my wrist I've got Knowing by Estee Lauder. I can't smell centerpiece, and centerpiece is a very strong projection scent. So ladies, if you really want to smell something different, and if you are in a job which involves authority, you have to try Knowing by Estee Lauder. And for the men, don't shy away from this fragrance. I'm going to get this bottle because this is not girly at all. In fact, centerpiece is more feminine, if you were to compare, than Knowing by Estee Lauder. That's how I feel about this. I'm completely bowled over. Fantastic scent. So I hope you like this review. This is the first time I'm reviewing ladies' fragrances, so do let me know if I've done a good job or a bad one. And as usual, if you like the video, do click and on the like button and subscribe. And once again, happy Mother's Day to all those wonderful ladies. Ciao.